Jonas Brothers, where there's almost queerbaiting going on in that they're sort of icons in the gay community, but they're not themselves gay, apparently.
Right. So then, what's the question? Like, what do I feel about them, or
I don't know. Do you have any thoughts about the phenomenon, I suppose?
I guess the phenomenon could be attributable to them as kind of conduits, you know, as sexuality and the exploration of sexual identity becomes a more mainstream exploration, and these conversations are less shadowy and less taboo. These guys who are in many ways considered very conventionally, you know, desirable, attractive, leading men, lending themselves to these kinds of stories and demystifying them and taking away a kind of stigma that could be associated with those conversations or those kinds of stories is, you know, it's a valuable thing, I think, for our culture to have these conversations, to be able to have them with people who a generation or two ago wouldn't have gone near the issue if they're ascribing to that level of accomplishment or exposure in the industry, you know.
So I mean, there's been so much advance in the past few years for gay rights. I mean, the pace is staggering. Since you came out in 2011, it's a very different landscape.
I mean, I think about when I graduated from school and I moved to LA and I started my journey toward trying to be an actor, and you know that this was a constant kind of undercurrent for me of like, well, you know, I was clear about who I was, but felt still like I couldn't reconcile this with a career. I didn't think it was possible in the early 2000s, you know. And here we are just months away from, you know, hopefully the Supreme Court ruling with integrity on the issue, and that's really exciting, and that's happened in such a short amount of time.
You're probably the biggest, I mean, you're the biggest gay star who I can think of. The absolute A-listers, not a single one is out. That's either because they're all straight or not. Do you know why in 2015 that is?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It can't really be much of an absolute A-list if there's not integrity and truth. And I think times are changing rapidly, and like, I guess it's just a matter of what people are willing to sacrifice for what they consider to be success, or, you know, what they consider to be the accomplishments that they set out to achieve. For me, it's like you can't have one without the other. But I'm also of a different generation. You know, you look at some of the people that you're talking about, and they came of a different age. So we're all on our own journeys, and I find it just more interesting that visibility is the key, and that is what I, for one, am interested in lending my voice to, and I've been met with great experiences and great opportunities as a result. So I wouldn't want to live any other life than this, but you know, then maybe my priorities are different.